book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 9. It says, and moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. Okay, first and foremost, I want to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rikah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the icons that's pushing the truth and sincerity. And Lord willing, this video be edifying first and foremost to the hopefully elect and to those that cleave to the body. And as you can see it on a meme, it said, what does it mean to have discernment? And discernment is a key element, all right? It's a keen trait to have, okay? Because as a teacher of being a wise master builder in a Mashiach Yahushua, okay, we ought to copy those. It's like we got to copyright what's there already, man. All right. And then basically it means to know. To have knowledge means to know, right? To have understanding means to understand what you know. Okay. But discernment is to distinguish between the things you know and don't know, or, you know, the lack thereof. To say, man, to discern something is to have great judgment. As a matter of fact, let me get into it right here. This discernment in the online etymology, it says keenness of intellectual perception is your insight, acuteness of judgment. You see? And I gotta get it. This Psalms 112, one of my favorites. Yeah. It's Psalms 112, and I believe it's 7. Don't quote me on it, but I think that's it. There's Psalms 112 and Salak at 5. It says, a good man showeth favor and lendeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion. All right? Having that discretion, having that, that understanding of judgment on how you advise your affairs, how you guide your affairs, all right? How you go about controlling the situations which you encounter, man. All right? You do it by keenness of intellectual perception, insight, acuteness of judgment. You see? That insight, okay? That prudence. Oh, I gotta get it. Gotta get it. Another one of my favorites. This Proverbs 19 and 11. I might have wanted to get this one first, then circle back around to that 112 and 5. This Proverbs 19 and 11. It says the discretion of a man deferred his anger, and it is his glory to pass over transgression. Because your discernment goes into your what? That goes into your discretion, man. You see? Discernment, your acuteness of judgment. All right. Or insight goes to the heart of a subject, which means the mind. Reads the innermost character. All right. Discernment is the cognitive condition of someone who understands. You see? So someone who understands, first and foremost, he understands what's right. All right. And through discernment, as a teacher of the law, you gotta pray for this, man. You gotta pray to have this. And discernment is not something that's built up. All right. Discernment is a gift. It's merely a gift. So as you growing and teaching, all right, that gift is being what? It's being increased. All right. Because the more and more you able to see, basically through transparency, it's kind of seeing something before it arrives. All right. Having like that butterfly effect. All right. Knowing, able to know to distinguish between, okay, this going here. It's a great distinguishing between. Meaning what? A discretion. It says a perception of that which is obscure. Obscure means in darkness, pretty much shining light on that which is obscure or that's trying to be hidden. All right. Because a lot of people have the ability to hide, basically hide their hand. All right. But discernment or seek that out. Okay. And then, like you say, it don't got to be in a rude, just or a rude way, But sometimes discernment come in a rude fashion. All right? Discernment, the mental ability to understand and discriminate between relations. You see? Now that's the main one, which goes into judgment. All right? The trait of judging wisely and objectively. You see? Now sometimes you might have to judge harshly. Matter of fact, let me get this. The 2 Corinthians 11 and 6. It says, though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge. Let's see what this word. This rude.
Strong's G 2399. Idiotes. Idiotes.
Which remind you of what? An idiot. You see? Though yeah, we may come off to be an idiot, or the men of the law may come off to be idiot, yet they don't lack discernment or wisdom or knowledge to certain people. You see? It says in the New Testament, an unlearned, illiterate man as opposed to the learned and educated, one who is unskillful in any art. You see? Unlearned or ignorant or rude, ignominious or compare or idiot. You see? Ignorant, rude, or unlearned. All right? So we may come off to be ignorant or unlearned, but really that's a savvy trait. That's being savvy. Now let me get this word savvy, right? You can be being savvy in a sense, man. And you gotta have savvy. You gotta have nastiness, savvy to you, man. All right? This savvy, in the online etymology, it says practical sense, intelligence, you see, to know, to understand, to perceive. All right? To be wise, to be knowing. All right? That savviness, to get the meaning of something, the cognitive condition of someone who understands. So being savvy and having discernment is the same thing, man. All right? You being witty in a sense. All right? But this 2 Corinthians 11 and 6, it says, though yet I be rude in speech, being ignorant or somewhat, coming off, but yet not in knowledge. Let's get this word knowledge right here.
Strong's G 1108. Gnosis.
Right, so we given the order and the structure of how to teach, what we get from our elders as coming in. Myself as a younger man, have these things to work on more, less than others. Every brother walk is different. You might have to tighten up on your walk. You may, some brothers may be lacking discernment, but could teach well, but don't have discernment. Then they may have brothers who have the determined, and they may be rude with speech. You see? So this is like you say, but the point of the goal is, man, you gotta have discernment out there. You gotta see where things going, where things coming from. All right, when to call something off. Like, look, this just ain't, there's a blockage there. Discernment going to a lot of avenues and layers. You gotta peel back those layers of discernment. All right, and every brother got their portion of their measure of discernment. Some brothers higher than others, some brothers way lower than others. Some brothers more frequently, some brothers less frequently. All right, but this is knowledge. Salaki, this is the word knowledge, yeah, in the Strong's. It says knowledge signifies in general intelligence, understanding. You see, the general knowledge of Christian religion. The deeper, more perfect, and enlarged knowledge of this religion, such as belonging to the more advanced. You see? Especially of things lawful and unlawful for Christians, which we know the Christians is the Israelites. Moral wisdom, such as is seen in right living. Knowledge or science, to know. You see? The implication to know. To learn to know, to come to know. To get knowledge, to perceive, to feel, to know, to understand, to be acquainted with, to know. All right? So You know, as men of the Lord is teaching, we have to know, first of all, okay, which discernment is a key element, right? And knowing, but we must also teach the simplicity of the Mashiach Yahushua. That's why wisdom raineth down scale. You see? The way you teach, discernment and savviness and being witty is all elements of teaching, man. All right. Now, like I say, brothers have it. Brothers got to work on it, and I speak to myself first. You see? But it's basically taking the simple things, the things that's of complexity and making a simplicity out of it. All right? You making simple the complex things, which also brothers have to have a diversity of angles that they can come at people with, man. And I learned this from my teachers, I'm not saying like I know how I go, but I understand the method. In order to improve on something, you have to understand and perceive and know the method first. Then you start working on it. You see? So having a diversity of angles, being able to teach in a different way, or range or avenue, all right? These are all helpful sources to being a great teacher, you see? And this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 9. This is Ecclesiastes in the Bible. And it says, and moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. And the knowledge that we teach is this word of truth, and we don't err from it, okay, at all. It says, yea, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. All right. So he's setting in order many proverbs, man. All right. Similitude, parables, poems, centers of ethical wisdom, ethical maxims. You see? Proverbs, Dark sayings, he's setting them in order, all right? Because he was what? A good teacher, all right? Breaking down proverbial sayings, okay? Bywords. Let me see what this word aphorism means. Let me look that up. A pity, aphorism. A pithy observation that contains a general truth, such as if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, a saying. Okay, so, they even go into sayings. We go into dark sayings, bywords, similitude, parables, and make them what? Make them plain up on tables and set in order the proverbs, man. All right? Where subtle parables be at, you would be there also. It says the preacher sought to find out acceptable words. You see? You sought to find out acceptable words. According to the opposition that's confronting you or asking you questions. And they don't have to necessarily be an opposition, but I'm talking about those that are not teaching the word of the Lord versus those who are asking questions. Okay, or those that are teaching. All right. It says the preacher sought out to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth, because we giving out the words of truth. All right. But the way the people coming, they coming at angles. You see? So it's our duty to have a diversity of angles in order to know how to what? Deal with people, man. All right. And make the complex things or the difficult things to the people seem what? Seem simpler or easier. All right. That's you making it what? Plain up on tables that they may run that reading it, but really that's going to be the elect, because this is going to be plain to the elect. All right. Things that are whole are made plain. Those things are done in parables. Salaki. That it made plain. It made plain to the wise, you see? But this is let's see this word preacher right here. I'm gonna get this word preacher. Check it out.
Strong's H 6953. Koheleth. Koheleth.
It says a collector of sentences, a preacher, a public speaker. Who are the public speakers? A speaker in an assembly, man. All right, a assembler, a preacher. You see? It says to assemble, to gather for religious reasons, for political reasons, all right, for war, judgment, for religious purposes. You see? That's a preacher. Okay? So the preacher sought out to find acceptable words, and that was written was aright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are as golds and nails fastened by the masters of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd. Okay? Meaning we're coming from one sound doctrine that are given by and we stand fast in it, man. All right? By the master of assemblies. Let's get this word assemblies right here.
Strong's H627. Asupah. Asupah.
It says a collection of learned men, assembly. All right, that's why it says the assembling. I think that's Hebrews 12. Bear with me real quick. A collection of learned men. I think it's Hebrews 12 and 23, somewhere around there. Yep. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23. It says to the general assembly and the church of the firstborn. And that's who? That's the elect men, man. To prove to you that they're the teachers, man. They're the men with the spirit of discernment. All right, the spirit of teaching. All right, the apostles, man. It's them which are written in heaven. And to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. Meaning what? They're complete in the house of the Lord. Together as a church, they're complete. You see, assemblies, a collection of learned men. Learned men. All right? Okay? So it says the words of the wise are as golds. The words of the wise are as golds and as nails fastened by the master of assemblies, which are given from one shepherd, which is who? Yahweh Shah, man. That's why you say one faith, one word, one baptism, man. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, man. Going back to Ephesians 4 and 5. You see, we come in all in one spirit. Ain't no, coming in between that, man. Okay? 2nd, 6 and 7, Salakia. I think I left off something. No, that's it. All right, just making sure I didn't leave out anything. So that's like you said, it's key. It's a key way to do everything, man. All right, and we gotta be keen in how we operating the spirit of the Lord, man. We gotta be sharp, razor sharp. All right, and that's why we do these videos for the counselors to sharpen each other, to sharpen each other discernment. When a brother ain't see it, you bring it to a brother attention, like, bro, you didn't see the spirit or the energy that was being given out or this way, and hopefully the brother can utilize that to see it the next time around, man. All right, because hey, judgment ain't something that's learned. All right, that's given to you. It's like judgment, discernment come on effort, man. That come by the way of effort. That's like effort. You can't teach effort. That just gotta be there. All right, this Job 29 and 6. I'm gonna start at 6. I'm gonna start at 3. When his candle shine upon my head, and when by his light I walk through darkness, as I was in the days of my youth, when the secret of God was upon my tabernacle, when the Almighty was yet with me, when my children were about me. This started to be the point. 6, I'm gonna read to 11. Though all this is good. It says, when I wash my steps with butter, and the rock poured me out rivers of oil. When I went out to the gate of the city, having those rivers of oil on them. When I prepared my seat in the street. So when he went to what? To teach. The young men saw me and hid themselves. And the aged arose and stood up. The princes refrained talking and laid their hand on their mouth. The nobles held their peace and their tongue cleaved to the roof of their mouth. When the ear heard me, then it blessed me. And when the eye saw me, it gave witness unto me. All right, because of what? Him going about his way of teaching and the way he was teaching, man. All right, because he what, man? He brought light to the people, man. He brought knowledge and wisdom to the people. You know, it says when he went through the city, when he prepared his seat in the street. All right, meaning what? He was out there, man. You know, and like I said, man, the way you teach can affect you, you know. But hey, at the end of the day, you know, if it, you know, the Lord may have you teach that way, so that person can get it. All right, this 1 Corinthians, but for those who are willing to learn and they sincere, you know, this has got to be an element that we portray constantly, man. This 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 1, it says, and I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of the Most High. But you want, you know, you know, sometimes brothers don't come in excellency of speech or of wisdom, you know. For I determined not to know anything among you save the Mashiach Yahushua and him crucified. And I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man wisdom, but in a demonstration of the Spirit and power. So, all right. So, you know, our speech is not going to always be demonstrated to the people as something that they could adhere to or could connect to. But that's not the goal. The goal is to teach the truth. All right. That those that receive the truth may be freed by it. You see? It says, and not with enticing words. Let's go get that. Let's see what enticing words is, right? It's 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Let's see what this says, right? Enticing, persuasive. Okay. To persuade, to induce one by words to believe. Let me get that.
Strong's G 3982. Pytho.
Right. It says to persuade, induce one by words to believe, to make friends of, to win one's favor, gain one's goodwill, or to seek to win one, strive to please, to tranquilize. All right, to believe, to listen, to obey, comply, to trust, have confidence, be confident. Okay, you know. So yeah, that's the point. You see, and my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man wisdom, but in a demonstration of the Spirit and power. So when we speak this word, you know, this word is conducive to a spirit being joined unto you. Matter of fact, let's get there. This Proverbs 11:30, it says, the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. You see? And he that winneth, to take, to get, to fetch. Woo, let's get this.
Strong's H 3947. Lakach.
It says to take, to get, to fetch, lay hold of, to seize, receive, acquire, to buy, to bring, marry, to snatch. Okay, that's to seize, You know, that also goes into taking too. So that's enough. But hey, you know, which is the goal is to win souls, you know, at the end of the day. Our goal is to try to win souls, man. But it can't be by your own wisdom of man, enticing words of man wisdom. All right, because we winning people over with the knowledge of Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, man, not our own knowledge. You see, it says that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of the Most High. Okay, this 1 Corinthians 3:10. It says, according to the grace of our power, which is given unto me as a wise master builder. All right. So, hey, we trying to be wise master builders in this thing. Okay. That's what you want to be. A wise master builder. But, hey, in order to be that great architect, all right, you gotta, hey, man, a constructor, you gotta, hey, man, it take work in that, man. All right, you gotta have a diversities of gifts, man. You don't gotta have a diversity of gift, but you gotta make the most of your gifts. All right, that you have. This the word master builder.
Strong's G 5045. Tectone. Tectone.
It says a worker in wood, a carpenter, a joiner, a builder. You know, a carpenter could he handy, man. He real handy with his work. A ship carpenter, a builder, any craftsman or workman. The art of poetry, maker of songs, a planner, a plotter and author. A carpenter, artificer, a craftsman in wood, a carpenter, all right? So, yeah. You know, it says, according to the grace of our power, which is given unto me, as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation and another builder upon, which we have this thing schematically set out for us to follow, man. Our job is easy. All we got to do is follow what's down and written down, man. And don't go off. Don't scribble scratch outside the line. It's like when you was in pre-K and you had to trace the lines to your name was, you know, you had to trace your name. All right. All you had to do is follow those lines that was right there and you'll be able to spell your name perfectly, man, without going outside the line. It says, but let every man take heed how he builded thereupon. Yeah. So you take heed how you build. You use discernment, man. Okay. You use discernment on how you're building and what you're doing. All right. There's Psalms 37 and 30, and it reads, it says, the mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. So if you're speaking of wisdom, all right, so fear, and your tongue is talking of judgment of the Most High, hey, man, hey, people going to hear to you, man. And if they don't, then the Lord didn't want that to fall on deaf ears, or the ears that it was designed for to him, man. Because remember, the Lord he closed the ears and eyes. He closed the eyes and ears of certain people. He said, blessed are your eyes and your ears, for they hear and they see. You see? But not blessed is everybody, man. Remember, he blinded the minds of those that don't believe. All right, and gave them over into this world. The king of this world, man. All right. So you got to have your tongue got to be talking of judgment, man. Being a wise master builder, teacher. This Proverbs 16 and 23. It says, the heart of the wise teacheth his mouth, and added learning to his lips. So, hey, once again, there is one that's wise and teaching many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. So that what you teaching, you got to be living. Or that what you preaching, you got to be living. All right? You got to be living, man. You got to be able to handle your business in that what you doing. All right? And you got to understand, when you're in a discourse with an ungodly man or a man that don't want to receive the word, you got to be able to discern that shit, man. Okay? This on Sirach 21, Salaki 27 and 11. It says the discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom. Now remember that, I just read it in Proverbs, Salaki, and Psalms 37 and 30, man. It says the heart of the wise teacheth his mouth and added learning to his lips. It says the discourse of a godly man is always with wisdom, but a fool changes as the moon. So when you trying to teach this man, he started going question after question, things that's happening. Well, hey, bro, you're changing as the moon, man. All right. Just hey, converse with men of understanding, man. All right, or trying to get understanding sincerely, because they, like you said, they may have scoffers who you got to discern whether that's really a scoffer or not, man. All right, the Lord gave you judgment to do that. So in you all right? The Lord ain't gonna get off the throne to come do nothing, for you. He gave you wisdom, so hey, you got to know when to implement wisdom and knowledge, which is all the time, okay? But of course, you got to be in season with it, man. Understanding who and what you doing and how you doing it. It's this 12. If thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time, but be continual among men with understanding. So that's the point, man. Use discernment to find out, those men who are sincere and those that are not, But with that, man, until the next time, I want to say shalom.